Hi, I'm Dr. Bucci, and today we're going to be talking about the Equicore system. So it's a saddle pad you can buy almost anywhere, and it's called an Equicore, E-Q-U-I-C-O-R-E. And they make various size saddle pads. This is a large. And the key feature here is that it has these buckles and elastic bands that go under their belly and then also around their butt. So for most horses, I recommend them starting out with just the belly portion and do it 3 times a week for about 3 weeks, because a lot of horses are missing that core muscle. So it encourages them to lift up their back, especially when they're moving at a walk and a trot. So they're sucking it in and rounding their back. For those horses, it's really hard to get them engaged. It's really hard to get their core working, and it's really hard to build that top line for them. So this is a reminder for them to lift their back and lift their belly and use their back end. And then once you get to the point where you're putting the other strap around their back end, they really have to use their glutes and their quads and their back as well as a resistance to pushing when they're going. But the other thing with this that I like to highlight is you have to wean them onto it. So this is like cranking your treadmill up 15 degrees. It is immensely harder for them. I don't know anyone starting out who can hold a plank for 5 minutes, but that's what you're asking them to do. Is you're asking them to hold a plank and hold their core tight for a long period of time. And so you had to work up to it. So usually we recommend to start at a walk for 5 to 10 minutes. And what I do like about this is if your horse is really nice when you're riding, you can unclip it and take it off and kind of throw it to the side and continue riding. But I do say you have to wean them on. So add, 5 minutes each week or so until they're really feeling comfortable. And you'll notice that they'll start blowing. They're working really, really hard. And keep in mind the footing too. If you're in deeper footing, that's extra work for them too. That's running in a thick sand area versus, maybe somewhere that has a little bit thinner footing or on the grass. So this is a wonderful, wonderful tool to use to help get their back up and their butt moving. So the butt portion, when you put it on, it just clips here to the saddle pad, and then you make sure that it goes around their butt. I would recommend working them on the ground first to make sure that they're going to be okay with it. And this, it should be a little tighter than this. So it should be, a bit taut where it doesn't have so much slack, but for him, he's pretty weak in the hind end, so we keep it a little looser, more as a reminder to tuck his butt. So you can use it kind of in different ways. And then we're gonna get him going on a walk, and hopefully you'll see that he moves a little bit better when he's with it. You can either use this when you're riding or when you're lunging. I personally don't have a lot of time sometimes, so he gets lunged a bit. And so you'll see that he's lifting his back up a little bit. He's not going around like a toddler with his belly out, even though he's just walking. So he's lifting his back up. He's using his butt a little bit more, even though we're just walking. Engaged. You should see them drop their head a little bit. Those high-headed horses, you'll see them put their head down more level with their withers, because in order for them to round their back, they have to bring their neck down. So this is a great tool to use if you have an athletic horse and you're trying to get them a little bit more fit and trying to get them to use their body a little bit more. And if you have any other questions, feel free to call us or make an appointment at trainingpointvet.com.